I tend to think that this short film has a very relatable topic, which is personal disharmony. The characters of the dialogue. There's actually only one character, this young girl. We don't know anything about her really. We didn't know her name, her age, her preferences, her interests, her family, her background, most importantly. But we know, and she knows, and this is also very important, that there are clearly some issues. She talks to herself, and not like random talking. I mean, that's not the problem. A lot of people talk to themselves. I do. The problem is that she sees another person, she talks to another person who happens to be the other version of her own. Thinking about it, she might be even a bit mentally ill, you know, though we don't know that for sure again. So anyway, she's definitely a bit cuckoo. So she has this sort of split personality thing going on. I'm not sure in the terms I'm using, but yeah, she is selfish, arrogant, and absolutely not self-critical at all. But that is only the outside vision of this girl. She knows everything about her problems, about her character, but she doesn't want to accept it. She's not agree with that. She thinks that everything is alright. First, it's not her name obviously, it's a nickname, which was given by another person. Her dark, smart, wise, truthful, a bit sassy inner voice, physically interpreted in second. The dialogue starts with a phrase, "Inside us there's a rock." This pretty much explains, I can't say everything, but a lot. Second is a rock inside first, and I believe that in every mentally healthy, adultish person, there's the second living inside. It's all about the inner voice who tells you to do the right thing. The inner voice who tells you to make bad stuff is not the inner voice of wisdom, it's an inner voice of lust. Second is the inner voice of wisdom. Then there is the first monologue of first. She presents a summary of what's on her mind right now to us. She's talking about the past and how it's unchangeable and how it affects everything so much. This shows that something happened to her, something happened in her life, something that makes her feel sad or bad, something that she simply didn't want to happen, you know. She's talking about her not being able to stop to do something, and this shows her perception of reality, awareness of what's happening inside of her and around her. She knows what's right and what's wrong, and she's saying that she can't change, but I think that she just doesn't want to, and that is why there is this disharmony in her. In the second monologue of second, we hear the explanation of who she is and why she's hurt. She's saying about those creatures living inside every person, about how those creatures are the best, and what some people, most of the people actually, do to those creatures. She's saying about how much it hurts and how they are almost dying without a chance to be even dead in the end. Because I mean, how can you possibly kill your inner voice? You can shut it, but you can't cut it out, you know. In the little dialogue between first and second, there's a lot of different feelings. There's a strong feeling of this sisterhood, but clearly one of the sisters is a total bitch. There's a feeling of silent understanding and deliberate denial of the situation. First, once again, is aware of her making bad choices, wrong choices towards second. And second knows that first is very unlikely to change, challenge, and explain herself. But both are trying so hard to succeed. Second tells that she's a good person. And, oh, there's so much fakeness in your "I'm a good person" phrase is a reference to this departure of ideal second. Because second is not an angel. She's a respectful part of this girl, and this girl is a total bitch. So the difference is that first doesn't even want to be a good person. I love details. I love references, little ideas, little things about art that maybe nobody besides an author will even understand. In the dialogue, of course, I try to put some to make it more deep, to make it a bit more delusional, because the whole dialogue and both monologues are happening in this girl's head. So that's why there's no background noises, and that's why the music is so kind of pressing, you know. In the very first monologue, girl is talking about notes, about how they're not strong enough, especially the ones on the paper and stuff. This is a reference to notes on the paper on the walls. The message behind it was to send a viewer to those notes, to kind of pause and think about it a bit. We have 4 by first and 2 by second. The Everything Has an Idea one with the fern on the right has quite a funny story behind it. One day me and my good friends were talking about fern and how it's everywhere, and how it clearly has something to it, something about it that we doesn't know, that maybe it's even in the Bible, and that it has some sort of Illuminati shit going on or whatever, just cause it's so notable. And the message behind it, the same. To send the viewer to see a bit more, to explore the detailed side of cinematography. The "Hello, my name is" second note is first's note, and it shows her awareness of her splitted persona, because it was written by her, by first, by the girl, and there is "Hello, my name is" second in it. So yeah, the Soar Life note and note with drops in it are referring to girl's past, to something that happened in her past that makes her this way right now, that makes her sad or whatever, depressed, makes her listening to James Blake all the time. The second note, "I see the truth, I'm blind," is referring to girl's way of living, way of perception, to her closing the eyes and everything. And the braided first one is also a funny story. One day I got a message from some guy I didn't know, a very strange message, with a picture of some article about how girls who braid their hair are like angels on earth, and girls who wear loosey hair are like freaking demons, sinners, the worst ones. I laughed at it sent him a fuck off message back and forgot about it. And then when I was making the movie, I remembered it and decided that it's very cool that I need to put it in. So the translation of Rated First sounds to me more like I second am making this girl better. And it's in the past tense because second wants it to happen so badly, you know? Originally, I also wanted second to be with braided hair, but when I was filming, I just simply forgot about it, so... But in the end, the very, very last scene where second is braiding her hair, crying, symbolizes this recovery, her recovery from being hurt by first's denial. And the crying reverse scene is showing how this process of second trying to make first a better person by advising her and first denying her help and telling that she doesn't know what's happening, being very repetitive. I'm very relatable to this girl, to this character, in a way that I don't do listen to myself sometimes as well, and it's bad. I sometimes talk what I feel instead of what I really think. And also I'm relatable in the looks, because I play the actual girl. It happens. In the looks, there are also some details. Second's clothes and even makeup a bit, though in the final version it's not very obvious, are darker than first's. Because for me, this darkness symbolized clearness, ironically, and just wisdom in general. Also, second is wearing a lot of rings. It's also like my thing. This is again just to show the resemblance between first and second. But I mean, of course they would have a resemblance. They're the same fucking person. In the end of the dialogue, we see the inside us there's a rock phrase again, but with the ending, which is that falls. Inside us there's a rock that falls. And by creating this over-dramatized vision of this topic about personal disharmony between you and your inner voice, I wanted some people, all of the people really, including me, to never ever say or hear the ending of that phrase.